Hi everybody, welcome to Story Time with Nonna. I've got 3 short stories for you today out of the same book we've been reading, and I think you're really going to like them. But first, I wanted just to show you my drawing. It's a preliminary sketch that I did for my granddaughter Heidi, and she calls me Nonna. She loves lambs, and I thought that this would be a fun drawing for her, so this is my little lamb. So I was making a preliminary sketch for my granddaughter Heidi, who likes lambs, and I ended up giving her the finished product, and she's got that hanging in her house. But this is something that I started out with, and she really seemed to like it. So I enjoy doing drawings for my family and my grandchildren. It's a fun thing to do. Today we're going to be doing the last selections out of our book, classic storybook Fables, including Beauty and the Beast and other favorites, illustrated by Scott Gustafson. We're going to be doing 3 stories by a man named Aesop. That's kind of a strange name, but this man lived a couple thousand years ago in Greece. And he had some wonderful stories. They're usually short little stories, but they have what we call a moral to the story, meaning that they mean something that's good to know. So the first one we're going to be reading is called The Crow and the Pitcher. And actually, crows do this particular behavior to try to raise the water level. It's pretty interesting. The Crow and the Pitcher. A very thirsty crow came upon a pitcher. Having looked far and wide for something to drink, the parched bird peered into the jug. "At last," she said, "a bit of water." But unfortunately for her, the vessel's narrow neck kept her from reaching the cool water at the bottom, no matter how hard she tried. Discouraged, but far from giving up on the possibility of quenching her thirst, she took a moment to think things over. "Aha!" she cried. "I have an idea." The crow began picking up nearby pebbles and dropping them into the pitcher. With every stone that plunked into the old jug, the water level was raised up just a bit. Pebble by pebble, the clever bird kept raising the level of the water until at last a cool drink was within her reach. "Ah," she sighed. "So it's true. Necessity is the mother of invention." Now, what does that mean? Necessity is the mother of invention. Well, that crow needed a drink. She was thirsty. So she thought about it, and she said, "If I put weight into the water, it will raise the water level. I want you to try that at home. Put a little bit in a glass of water and see if you can put some pebbles and watch that water level raise." That's a pretty smart crow, and she's not a thirsty crow anymore. Now we're going to read a story called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And it was written by Aesop as well. So we will have a moral at the end of the story. And remember, a moral is something good to know that we can use in our daily life. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Once upon a time, a group of villagers hired a boy to watch over their sheep. Day in and day out, he guarded the flock as they grazed upon the hillsides beyond the village gates. One afternoon, the shepherd boy grew tired of this job and wondered how he could liven things up. Looking down on the town from the hillside, he had an idea. "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" Upon hearing this, the townspeople dropped whatever they had been doing and grabbed rakes, and shovels, and sticks and axes, anything that might help to protect their sheep from the hungry wolf, and ran to the boy, ready to fight. "Ha ha ha ha!" The boy laughed when he saw their worried faces. "You should have seen yourselves. I sure fooled you." Grumbling, the villagers returned to the town. The next afternoon, the boy pulled the prank again. "Wolf! Wolf! Oh, it's horrible! If only someone would help!" Within minutes, the villagers came running, just like they had the day before. "Ha ha ha ha!" the boy laughed. "Tricked you again!" On the way back to town, the angry villagers wondered if they had hired the wrong person to protect the flock. Shortly after the boy was left alone with the sheep, a wolf leapt out of the forest. "Wolf! Wolf!" cried the boy. "Help! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" The townspeople who had just gotten back to the village heard the cries, but they only shook their heads. "Tomorrow we'll hire someone who isn't always trying to make fools out of us," they said as they returned to their homes. Without help, the boy was no match for the wolf, and it soon carried off all the sheep it wanted. The boy ran to the town crying, "Why didn't anyone come when I called?" "You should know by now, boy," said the mayor. "No one believes a liar, even when he's telling the truth." Boy, that is some good advice there. Even if we lie, if we make a habit of lying, people aren't going to believe us, even when we're telling them the truth. That's another good moral, isn't it, from Aesop? The last story that we're going to read today is called The Mice in Council. The mice had had enough. No matter where they went, whether searching for food or playing in the meadow, the cat was always a threat. It seemed he could be anywhere, silently hunting them, waiting to pounce. Something had to be done, and so a meeting was arranged. Late one night, in a quiet corner of the barn, the anxious group was called to order. A number of suggestions were made as to how the mice should protect themselves from their enemy, the cat. But one by one, these ideas were rejected. Finally, a mouse who was well known to everyone and well respected stepped forward. "While foraging in the trash heap the other day, I found a wonderful treasure, and I realized that all of our troubles were over. For it is this simple thing that can protect us all from that sneaky cat." He held up a small brass bell. "All we need to do is to tie this bell around the cat's neck, and its tinkling sound will alert us in plenty of time for us to run away." The other mice cheered. Everyone agreed that the problem was now solved. Everyone except a wise old mouse who had sat quietly listening. He cleared his throat and raised his paw to speak. "Friends, this does indeed sound like a wonderful plan, but I am afraid we may have overlooked one important question. Which one of us will bell the cat?" The old mouse sat back in silence. No one knew what to say because they realized he was right. It is one thing to talk about a plan. It is quite another to carry it out. I wonder who they picked to put the bell on the cat. I don't think they had any volunteers. That's another good moral, isn't it, from Aesop? I hope you enjoyed those 3 stories. They're very old, but I think they're very timely. I hope you had a wonderful time on Story Time with Nonna. I know I did. And we'll see you next time with a brand new book and a brand new story. Have a great day. See you soon. Bye.